Have you ever felt like something big is coming, like a shift in the air, a moment in time that could change everything? Maybe you can't explain it, but deep down your soul feels it, a call, a pull towards something greater. The world moves forward, but you know something is about to happen. What if I told you that March 9, 2025 is not just another day on the calendar? What if this date holds a significance that only a few will truly understand? The chosen ones. Those who have walked the path of faith despite the storms. Those who have faced battles, doubts, and trials, but never let go of the truth inside them. You see, history has always been shaped by moments like this. Moments when faith is tested and destiny is revealed. And here's why you need to stay until the end of this video, because in the next few minutes, you will discover something powerful. A truth that has the potential to change your perspective forever. A revelation that could strengthen your faith in ways you never imagined. If you've ever wondered why you were chosen, why your journey has been filled with tests, and what's waiting for you beyond this moment, you're about to find out. But only if you stay. Because most will hear the words and dismiss them. They will move on, lost in the distractions of life, ignoring the signs right in front of them. But you are different. You are here for a reason. And deep inside, you already know that. Look around. The world is shifting faster than ever before. Uncertainty fills the air. People are searching for meaning, for direction, for something that makes sense of the chaos. Fear is creeping into hearts. Doubt is clouding minds. But here's what separates the chosen from the rest. The chosen do not run from uncertainty. They do not let fear dictate their future. Instead, they stand firm. They understand that every great test comes before an even greater transformation. And that is exactly why you are here. You were never meant to live an ordinary life. You were never meant to just exist. You were meant to rise, to lead, to carry the light in the darkest moments. But here's the truth that many fail to realize. Being chosen is not about being comfortable. It's about being called. And when you are called, the road is never easy. Think about every moment in your life when you felt lost, when you questioned your path, when you wondered why the struggles kept coming, the doubts, the setbacks, the nights filled with silent prayers. Do you really think it was all for nothing? No. Every moment, every hardship, every test, it was shaping you, preparing you, strengthening you for what's ahead. Because the ones who are truly chosen are not the ones who had it easy. They are the ones who stood through the fire and refused to break. The ones who faced the storms but never lost sight of the light. And now, as March 9th, 2025 approaches, you must ask yourself, are you ready? Are you ready for what's next? Are you ready to step into the purpose you were always meant for? Because something is coming. And only those with eyes open will see it. Only those with faith unshaken will rise above it. The question is, will you be one of them? Stay with me, because what I'm about to share next will reveal exactly what it means to be chosen and why this moment in time is unlike anything before. The answer is waiting. The choice is yours. If you're still here, it means something inside you is awake. Something deep within you knows that this moment is not ordinary, that this message is reaching you for a reason. And if you have made it this far, then listen carefully, because what you are about to hear is not for everyone. It is for those who are ready to understand, those who have the strength to see beyond what the world wants them to believe. March 9, 2025, a date like any other to some, but to those who are awake, it is a marker in time, a moment when something shifts, a moment when choices will separate the strong from the weak, the faithful from the fearful. The question is, where will you stand when that moment arrives? History has always worked this way. Before every great transformation, there is a test. Before every awakening, there is a storm, and only those who are prepared in mind and spirit will walk through it without fear. The truth is, most people are asleep. They live their lives on autopilot, never questioning, never searching, never realizing the bigger picture. But the chosen ones, they feel the weight of every moment. They see the signs before they appear. They know deep in their souls when the world is about to shift. You have felt it, haven't you? That sense of urgency, that feeling that something is changing, that the world around you is not as steady as it once seemed. It's because the time is near and the path ahead is not for the faint of heart. But here is the truth most people ignore. Being chosen does not mean the road will be easy. It means the road will be harder. More challenges, more trials, more moments where faith is the only thing keeping you standing. That is what separates the chosen from the rest. Because when others give up, the chosen ones rise. When others turn back, the chosen move forward. And when others are blinded by fear, the chosen see with faith. And that is exactly why this moment matters. Because March 9, 2025 is not just a day. It is a moment of choice. A moment where the world will look one way, but those who are truly awake will see another. It is a moment that requires preparation, not just physical, not just mental, but spiritual, because the battle ahead is not just one of circumstances, it is a battle of belief. Think about it. Every time in history, when the world reached a turning point, those who stood strong were not the ones who followed the crowd. They were the ones who walked a different path, who trusted in something greater than themselves. And this time is no different. The ones who will rise after this moment are the ones who refuse to be controlled by fear, the ones who choose faith over doubt, the ones who understand that being chosen means stepping forward when others hesitate. So ask yourself, where do you stand? Do you see what is coming? Or are you still looking at the world the way they want you to see it? Because what happens next is not about luck, and it's not about chance. It is about preparation. It is about standing firm when everything around you tries to shake you. It is about knowing without a shadow of a doubt that you were made for this moment, and that is why you are still here. Because deep down, you already know. You have felt the weight of this moment long before this message reached you. You have seen the signs, heard the call, and now it is time to decide. Because being chosen is not just about believing, it is about becoming. It is about stepping into the person you were always meant to be. The world is shifting, but the chosen ones will not be moved. The question is, will you be one of them? There comes a time when every soul must decide, a moment that tests not just what you believe, but who you are at your core. A moment where everything you've known is challenged, where your strength is measured, and where your faith is either unshaken or broken. This is that moment. Because nothing in this world stays the same forever. Everything moves toward a turning point, a shift that separates those who are awake from those who are lost in the illusion of comfort. It's happening now faster than ever. The world is becoming more unpredictable, more unstable. And the question is, are you prepared? Not in the way the world tells you to be, not in the way that relies on temporary security, but in the way that matters most. The way that determines whether you stand or fall when the moment arrives. Because when everything around you begins to shake, only those with a foundation built on truth will remain standing. Look back at history. Every great transformation, every shift in power, every moment that shaped the course of time, it all followed the same pattern. First, there was a warning, a feeling in the air, a sign for those who were paying attention. Then came the moment of decision, a line drawn between those who chose courage and those who chose comfort. And then came the change, the moment that could not be undone, where only those who were ready could step forward into the new reality. This is the pattern. And right now, we are standing in the warning. The world around you is shifting, and if you are truly awake, you can feel it. A weight pressing on your spirit, a sense that something is coming, a call that refuses to be ignored. Most people will dismiss it. They will continue as if nothing is happening. They will cling to their routines, their distractions, their sense of normalcy. But the chosen ones cannot, because they know that moments like these do not come without purpose. And this is where the test begins. Because being chosen is not about being lucky. It is about being ready. It is about having the wisdom to see beyond what is in front of you, the strength to move forward when fear tries to hold you back, the faith to trust that every challenge, every battle, every hardship you have faced was all leading to this. The weight you feel right now, it's not there to break you. It's there to prepare you, to make you stronger, to refine you into the person you were always meant to be. Because if the path ahead was easy, then everyone would walk it. But it is not meant for everyone. It is meant only for those who have been tested, who have endured, who have refused to let the fire consume them. And here's the truth that most people don't want to hear. Comfort is the greatest trap of all. It keeps people blind. It keeps them weak. It keeps them in a state of waiting, believing that they will always have more time to decide, more time to prepare, more time to change. But time does not wait. And when the moment arrives, it will not ask if you are ready. It will not give you a second chance. It will simply reveal who has been preparing all along. So ask yourself, where do you stand? Are you waiting for the world to prove what you already feel in your soul? Or are you ready to rise, to embrace the weight of this moment, and to step into the strength that has always been inside you? Because the ones who are truly chosen are not the ones who wait. They are the ones who know deep within their spirit that they were called for such a time as this. There is a difference between those who follow and those who are chosen. A difference that cannot be seen with the eyes, but only felt in the soul. The chosen ones walk a path that few understand, a path that is not easy, not comfortable, but necessary. Because to be chosen means to be set apart. It means to carry a responsibility greater than yourself. But here is the truth. Being chosen is not about status. It is not about power. It is not about being better than others. It is about being willing to go where others refuse to go, to endure what others run from, to trust in something greater, even when the world offers nothing but doubt. And that is why the chosen ones always face the greatest challenges, because this path demands more. It requires sacrifice. It requires faith when there is no visible reason to believe. It requires standing firm when everything around you is pushing you to break. But why? Why must the chosen walk a harder road? Because strength is not built in comfort. Because faith is not tested in easy times. Because courage is not formed in moments of certainty. Every chosen one is shaped in the fire, refined through struggle, strengthened through trials. And the reason is simple. Because you cannot lead if you have not first learned how to stand. And maybe you have felt it. The weight of this calling, the pressure that comes with walking a path that others don't understand. The loneliness of standing firm when the world tells you to bend. The moments of doubt where you wonder if you are strong enough, if you are ready, if you can carry what has been placed on your shoulders. But here is something you must never forget. You were not chosen by accident. You were chosen because you were meant for this. Every hardship, every struggle, every unanswered question has been shaping you, preparing you, molding you into the person you need to become. The chosen ones do not walk the easy road, but they walk the right one. And that is why they are different. That is why they do not fit in. That is why they often feel like strangers in a world that does not see what they see, because they are walking a path that was never meant to be crowded. So if you have ever felt out of place, if you have ever felt the weight of something greater calling you forward, if you have ever felt like your journey was harder than most, understand this. It is not a burden, it is a blessing. Because the ones who are chosen are not given an ordinary life. They are given a purpose. And that purpose will not be easy. It will demand more from you than you ever thought you could give. It will test you in ways you never expected. But it will also make you stronger than you ever imagined. Because in the end, being chosen is not about avoiding the storms. It is about learning how to stand in the middle of them, unshaken, unafraid, and unwilling to turn back. And that is why you are here. Because deep down, you know you were made for this. Every chosen one will face a moment of testing, a moment when everything they believe is put under pressure, a moment when the path ahead seems uncertain, and the weight of the journey feels unbearable. This test is not meant to destroy. It is meant to reveal, to separate those who only speak of faith from those who live by it, to show who is truly ready for what is coming. Maybe you have felt it already, the resistance, the struggles that seem unending, the battles that come one after another, as if something is trying to break you. And in those moments, the temptation to give up whispers in your mind. The doubt creeps in, making you question whether you are strong enough, whether you are worthy enough, whether you can truly endure. But this is where most people fail to understand something crucial. Struggle is not a sign that you are forgotten. It is a sign that you are being prepared. It is a sign that you are stepping into something greater than yourself. And the greater the calling, the greater the test. Because nothing valuable is ever given without a cost. No one reaches their destiny without being tested first. The fire you are walking through is not there to consume you, it is there to refine you. To burn away the fear, the doubt, the weakness that does not belong in the person you are becoming. Think about it. Every great figure in history, every leader, every person who made an impact, they all faced trials that could have broken them. But instead of running, they chose to stand. Instead of surrendering, they chose to fight. And because they endured, they became unshakable. This is the pattern of those who are called. Before the breakthrough comes the breaking point. Before the victory comes the battle. Before the reward comes the test. And the ones who make it through are the ones who refuse to let the struggle define them. So the question is, where do you stand in this moment? When the pressure rises, do you step back or do you push forward? Do you let fear silence your faith, or do you choose to believe even when the way is unclear? Because make no mistake, every test has a purpose. Every struggle is shaping you. And if you are in the middle of one right now, do not mistake it for punishment. Recognize it for what it is. Preparation, a chance to rise, a moment to prove, not to the world, but to yourself, that you are stronger than you ever imagined. Most people will turn back when the test comes. They will take the easy way out, avoiding discomfort, running from the fire, convincing themselves that they were never meant for more. But the chosen ones, they see the fire and step into it, because they know that on the other side of this moment is something greater. And that is why you must keep going, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how heavy the burden feels. Because the test is not the end of your story. It is the doorway to what you were always meant to become. There will come a time when many will stumble, when the pressure becomes too much, when the weight of the journey feels unbearable, and when fear takes hold of those who once stood strong. This is the moment that separates those who are truly chosen from those who only claim to be. Because when the storms rise, not everyone will remain standing. But you are not like the rest. You did not come this far just to be shaken by the trials ahead. You were not called to be fearful, to doubt, to break under the weight of what is coming. You were called to stand, to hold your ground when everything around you crumbles, to remain unshaken when the world trembles in uncertainty. Because strength is not found in moments of comfort, it is revealed in moments of chaos. Anyone can stand when things are easy. Anyone can claim faith when life is simple, but when the pressure rises, when the world shifts, when the weight of the unknown presses down, that is when true strength is revealed. That is when the chosen are set apart. And here is the truth most people ignore. Fear is the greatest weapon of all. It blinds, it weakens, it causes even the strongest to hesitate, to doubt, to question everything they once believed. Fear convinces people to turn back when they were only steps away from victory. It makes them see the storm instead of the path beyond it. It paralyzes, leaving them unable to move forward, unable to rise, unable to see that the battle was never meant to defeat them, it was meant to prepare them. But those who are chosen, they do not bow to fear. They feel it, but they do not let it control them. They hear its whispers, but they do not listen. They see the chaos, but they remain unshaken, because they understand something most people do not. Fear only has power over those who allow it to. And that is why you must stand firm, because the days ahead will not be easy. Many will be lost in fear. Many will turn back, convinced that the path is too difficult. But you cannot be one of them. You must hold on to the truth, even when everything around you tries to shake it from your hands. You must walk forward with faith, even when doubt surrounds you. You must remain steady, even when the world trembles. This is what it means to be chosen. It does not mean the journey will be easy. It does not mean you will never feel the weight of the battle. It does not mean you will not have moments where you question everything. But it does mean that no matter how hard it gets, You will not fall. You will not give up. You will not allow the storm to break you, because you were made for this. You were not given this path by accident. You were not called to this moment without purpose. Everything you have faced, every trial, every hardship, every challenge, it was all preparing you for this, for a time when the world would shake and only those who are truly strong would remain standing. That is why you must keep going, no matter what comes, no matter how great the storm, no matter how many people turn back, because you are not like the rest. You were chosen to rise when others fall. You were chosen to endure when others give up. You were chosen to stand firm no matter what lies ahead. The world will change, but the chosen ones will remain unshaken. The question is, will you be one of them? Every great moment in history was preceded by a season of preparation, a time when those who were called had to sharpen their minds, strengthen their spirits, and let go of everything holding them back. This is that time, the moment before the shift, the test before the breakthrough, the last chance to decide who you will be when everything changes. Because make no mistake, the time is near. The world is moving towards something irreversible, a moment that will divide those who are ready from those who were distracted, those who were preparing from those who were sleeping. And when that moment comes, there will be no more time to get ready. The only thing that will matter is what you have already done. So now, while there is still time, ask yourself, have you been preparing? Not in the way the world tells you to, not by storing up things that fade, chasing security that can be taken in an instant, but preparing in the way that truly matters, strengthening your faith, sharpening your wisdom, training your mind to see beyond what is in front of you. Because those who are prepared will not be shaken. They will not be caught off guard. They will not be confused when everything begins to change. While others panic, they will stand firm. While others run in fear, they will walk with confidence. While others search for answers, they will already know the truth. But preparation is not easy. It requires discipline. It demands sacrifice. It calls for a level of focus that few are willing to maintain. Because preparation means stepping away from the distractions, rejecting the comfort that keeps people blind, and choosing a path that is often lonely. Most people will not do it. They will convince themselves that they still have time, that they can wait until the last moment, that they can live however they want now and worry about the consequences later. But time does not wait, and when the moment comes, it will not ask if you are ready. It will simply reveal who has been preparing all along. And that is why this season is so important. It is not a time to be passive. It is not a time to wait for someone else to tell you what to do. It is a time to strengthen yourself like never before, to let go of the fears that hold you back, to train your heart to trust, even when everything around you tells you to doubt. Because when the time comes, hesitation will not be an option. You will either be ready or you will not. You will either stand or you will fall. And the ones who stand will not be the ones who were the strongest in the eyes of the world. They will be the ones who prepared in silence, the ones who built their foundation on truth, the ones who did not wait for proof before they believed. And so now the choice is in your hands. Will you be among those who are caught off guard, or will you be one of the few who saw what was coming and prepared for it? Will you let fear keep you frozen, or will you rise with confidence, knowing that you were made for this moment? The time for hesitation is over. The time for excuses has passed. The time to prepare is now, because when everything shifts, the only thing that will matter is whether you were ready. There comes a moment in every journey when logic fails, when the things you once relied on no longer make sense, when the world around you shifts in ways you never expected. This is the moment where most people lose themselves, when fear overtakes their mind, when doubt weakens their heart, when uncertainty leaves them frozen. But for those who are truly chosen, this is the moment when faith becomes unshakable. Because faith is not built in times of clarity. It is not tested when everything is going according to plan. It is forged in the unknown. It is strengthened in the darkness, in the silence, in the waiting. It is proven when nothing around you makes sense, yet you choose to stand anyway. And this is what separates those who endure from those who fall. Because most people rely on what they can see. They put their trust in things that are temporary. They build their confidence on things that can be taken away in an instant. And when those things are shaken, so are they. When the world around them crumbles, they collapse with it. But those with unshakable faith, they do not rely on what can be seen. Their strength does not come from the world. Their confidence does not come from circumstances. It comes from something deeper. Something that cannot be touched, cannot be taken, cannot be destroyed, and this is why they remain standing when everything else falls. Because they understand that faith is not about knowing every answer. It is not about having proof before believing. It is about trusting even when you cannot see the outcome. It is about walking forward even when the path is unclear. It is about holding on even when everything around you tells you to let go. And this is what you must remember in the days ahead. Because the world will try to shake you. Fear will try to grip you. Doubt will whisper that you are alone, that you are not strong enough, that you are not ready. But faith silences those lies. Faith reminds you who you are. Faith tells you to stand when everything around you tells you to fall. And when you have that kind of faith, when you refuse to be moved, when you refuse to give in, when you refuse to let fear control you, that is when you become unstoppable. Because nothing can break a person who has already decided that they will not be shaken. Nothing can stop a person who has already determined that they will keep moving forward no matter what comes. And that is what you must choose now. Not to live in fear, not to let the uncertainty of the future control you, not to fall when the world tells you to break, but to stand, to walk forward, to trust with everything inside of you, because those who have unshakable faith will always rise. No matter what comes, no matter what they face, they will stand firm, unmovable, unbreakable. And that is who you were meant to be. There will come a point where everything inside you will tell you to stop. The pressure will feel too heavy. The obstacles will seem too great. The voices of doubt will grow louder, whispering that you have done enough, that you have fought long enough, that maybe it is time to turn back. But you must keep going, because this is the test. This is the moment that determines who you really are. Not when things are easy, not when the path is clear, but when everything inside you screams to quit. This is where endurance is built. This is where strength is revealed. And most people don't make it past this point. They give in to exhaustion. They listen to the fear. They convince themselves that stopping is the only option. But stopping is a choice. And the ones who rise are the ones who choose to keep going no matter how they feel. Because feelings will lie to you. They will tell you that you are too weak, that you are too tired, that you do not have what it takes. But strength is not found in how you feel. It is found in what you do despite how you feel. It is found in the moments when you take another step, even when everything inside you wants to stop. And this is what will separate you from the rest. Because the ones who are chosen, the ones who make it to the other side, they are not the ones who never struggle. They are not the ones who never doubt. They are the ones who refuse to quit. The ones who understand that pain is temporary, but purpose is eternal. The ones who keep moving forward, no matter how difficult the journey becomes. And yes, it will be difficult. There will be days when you wonder if it is all worth it, when the weight of the journey feels unbearable, when you question if you have the strength to take even one more step. But remember this, those who endure to the end will see the reward. Those who refuse to give up will step into the promise. Those who stand firm will not be shaken when everything else falls, because it is in the moments when you feel like giving up that you must push harder than ever before. And this is why you must decide now, before the trials come, before the pressure rises, before the weight of the journey tries to break you. You must decide that quitting is not an option, that no matter how hard it gets, you will keep moving forward, that no matter how strong the storm, you will not turn back. Because the finish line is closer than you think, the breakthrough is nearer than it seems, and the only thing standing between you and the victory that was meant for you is the choice to keep going. So take another step. Hold your ground. Refuse to be moved, because the ones who keep going are the ones who will rise. Fear has always been the greatest weapon against those who are called. It comes in many forms: hesitation, doubt, anxiety. It whispers lies that paralyze the mind. It creates illusions that keep people stuck. And for so many, fear is the very thing that stops them from becoming who they were meant to be. But fear only has power if you let it, because fear is not real in the way you think it is. It is not a force that can hold you down. It is not a chain that can bind you. It is a shadow, something that grows only when you give it attention, something that seems bigger than it really is. But the moment you face it, the moment you refuse to bow to it, fear loses its power. And this is the moment where everything changes, because fear will tell you to stop. It will tell you to turn back. It will make you believe that you are not ready, not strong enough, not capable. But those who rise, those who overcome, are not the ones who never feel fear. They are the ones who choose to move forward anyway. They understand that fear is nothing but a test to see who truly believes, a test to see who will stand firm even when everything inside them wants to run, a test to separate those who are ruled by emotion from those who are ruled by purpose. And this is where most people fall. They believe the lie that if they feel fear, it must mean they are weak, that if they are uncertain, it must mean they're not ready. But strength is not found in the absence of fear. It is found in the ability to keep moving despite it. And that is what you must do now, because the path ahead will not be easy. There will be moments when fear tries to rise, when doubt creeps in, when the uncertainty of the unknown makes you question everything. But fear does not control those who refuse to listen to it. Fear cannot stop those who choose to stand their ground. And that is what you must do. Stand. When everything tells you to retreat, stand. When your mind tries to convince you that you are not enough, stand. When fear rises like a storm threatening to break you, stand. Because those who stand in the face of fear are the ones who will overcome it. And the ones who overcome will be the ones who step into what was always meant for them. So do not let fear dictate your choices. Do not let hesitation rob you of your future. Do not allow doubt to take what was meant for you, because the moment you refuse to bow to fear is the moment you take back your power. And when you take back your power, nothing, absolutely nothing can stop you. Everything begins in the mind. Every battle, every victory, every defeat, before a person ever succeeds or fails in life, they win or lose in their thoughts. Because the mind is the battlefield where destinies are decided, where fear either takes control or is defeated, where weakness is either embraced or rejected. And this is why the ones who rise, the ones who overcome, are those who have mastered their mindset, because life does not respond to emotion. It does not wait for you to feel ready. It does not slow down when you are tired or uncertain. It moves forward. And the only way to keep up, the only way to step into the life you were meant to have, is to train your mind to be unbreakable. And an unbreakable mind does not allow fear to take root. It does not entertain doubt. It does not dwell on failure or rejection. It is focused. It is disciplined. It is immovable, because it understands that thoughts have power, that whatever you believe will become your reality. And that is where most people fall. They allow negative thoughts to control them. They let fear shape their decisions. They dwell on failure until it becomes their identity. And without realizing it, they create their own limitations. They build their own walls. They trap themselves in a cycle of hesitation and regret. But you do not have to live that way, because the mind is like a muscle. It can be trained. It can be strengthened. It can be rewired to see opportunity instead of obstacles, to focus on solutions instead of problems, to reject fear instead of embracing it. And this is what you must do. You must take control of your thoughts. You must stop feeding doubt. You must silence the voice that tells you that you are not enough, and you must replace it with truth, with power, with the knowledge that you were made for more. Because what you believe about yourself determines everything. It determines how you act, how you respond to challenges, how you face the unknown. And if you do not train your mind to be strong, You will be controlled by every emotion, every setback, every difficulty that comes your way. But if you build an unbreakable mindset, if you decide right now that nothing will shake you, that nothing will stop you, that nothing will take you off course, you will become unstoppable, because those with an unbreakable mind are the ones who endure. They are the ones who refuse to quit. They are the ones who rise no matter how many times they fall, and in the end, they are the ones who win. So make the decision today, strengthen your mind, reject the thoughts that weaken you, embrace the mindset that will carry you through anything, and step forward with the confidence that nothing, absolutely nothing, can break you. There will always be moments when the path ahead is unclear, when you have fought, yet the battle still rages on. And this is where most people give up, not because they are weak, not because they do not want to succeed, but because they allow what they see to dictate what they believe. They allow circumstances to determine their faith. They look at the struggle and assume it means they are not meant to move forward. But the ones who rise above, the ones who step into their true calling, are the ones who understand that faith is not based on sight. It is not based on what is happening around them. It is not based on emotions or feelings or the temporary challenges they face. Faith is the ability to keep walking when there is no evidence that the path ahead is clear. Because real faith is tested. It is tested in the moments of silence, in the seasons of waiting, in the storms that threaten to shake you. And the ones who endure, the ones who refuse to give up, are those who walk by faith, not by sight. They do not need proof. They do not need guarantees. They trust even when the answer has not yet come. And this is where strength is built. Because faith is not just believing when things are easy. It is believing when everything inside you wants to doubt. It is standing firm when your mind tells you to run. It is choosing to move forward when logic says to stop. And the ones who master this, the ones who hold on to faith no matter what, are the ones who step into what was always meant for them. But most people will never get there. Not because they do not have potential, not because they are not capable, but because they allow fear to rule them. They allow obstacles to break them. They allow delays to convince them that they are forgotten. But delay does not mean denial. Just because you have not seen the answer yet does not mean it is not coming. Just because the door has not opened yet does not mean it never will. Just because you have faced resistance does not mean you are on the wrong path, because those who are called will always face resistance. The greater the calling, the greater the opposition. The closer you are to your breakthrough, the harder the battle becomes. And this is why faith must be unshakable. This is why you must decide right now that nothing will move you, that no delay, no setback, no unanswered question will cause you to quit. Because those who hold on, those who keep walking even when they cannot see, will be the ones who reach the promise. So stand firm. Do not waver. Do not allow what you see to shake what you know, because faith is the bridge between where you are and where you are meant to be. And the ones who cross that bridge, the ones who refuse to give up, will be the ones who rise. The difference between those who succeed and those who fall is not talent. It is not intelligence. It is not even opportunity. The difference is endurance. The ability to keep moving forward when everything inside screams to stop. The strength to keep standing when everything around you is trying to knock you down. Because endurance is not just about lasting through hardship. It is about refusing to let hardship change your direction. It is about understanding that pain is temporary, but quitting is permanent. That setbacks are part of the journey, but surrender is not an option. Most people quit too soon. They face one obstacle and assume they are not meant to continue. They experience resistance and think it is a sign to stop. They let hardship define them instead of refining them, and so they turn back, they settle, they accept less than they were meant for. But the ones who endure, the ones who refuse to quit, they are the ones who will see victory, because every struggle has a purpose. Every battle is shaping something inside you that comfort never could. Every delay, every difficulty, every closed door is preparing you for something greater. And this is where true endurance is built. It is built in the moments when you want to quit but don't. It is strengthened in the seasons when nothing is changing, yet you keep believing. It is forged in the fire of resistance, in the pressure of hardship, in the weight of challenges that most people run from. And those who endure will be the ones who break through. Because endurance creates transformation. It takes who you are now and turns you into the person you need to be. It develops patience, it builds strength, it sharpens focus, and it separates those who only dream from those who are willing to fight for that dream. But endurance is a choice. You must decide right now that you will not quit, that no matter how hard it gets, you will not turn back, that no matter how long it takes, you will keep moving. Because the moment you choose endurance, the moment you commit to seeing this through, you step into a power that most will never experience. And that power is what will carry you through. So keep going, keep believing, keep enduring, because the ones who refuse to quit are the ones who will rise. Right before the breakthrough, the battle always intensifies. Right before the victory, the resistance becomes unbearable. Right before the moment of transformation, everything in life will try to convince you to stop. And this is the test, the final test that separates those who rise from those who fall. The test that determines who is truly ready to step into their purpose. Because the greater the calling, the greater the trial. The closer you are to your breakthrough, the stronger the opposition becomes. Most people never make it past this point. Not because they lack the ability, not because they are unworthy, but because they do not recognize the test for what it is. They mistake pressure for failure. They mistake struggle for a sign to turn back. They assume that because things have become difficult, it must mean they are not meant to continue. But difficulty is not a stop sign, it is a doorway. And those who push through, those who refuse to give up, are the ones who will step into everything they were destined for. Because endurance is not just about lasting through the pain. It is about understanding that the pain itself is proof that you are close, that the darkness you are facing is not the end, it is the transition, the breaking point before the breakthrough. But this is where most people quit. They walk away when the finish line is just ahead. They let exhaustion, frustration, and doubt talk them out of what was meant for them. They let the final test break them instead of breaking through. But that will not be you, because you will recognize what is happening. You will understand that the struggle is confirmation, not rejection. That the storm is not there to stop you, but to strengthen you. That if you endure just a little longer, if you refuse to give in, you will come out on the other side stronger, wiser, and more prepared than ever before. This is the moment where you must decide. Do you give up now when you are so close? Do you walk away when everything in you was built for this? Or do you rise up, push forward, and refuse to let the final test break you? Because those who refuse to break will be the ones who break through. So take a deep breath, find your strength, stand firm, because what is waiting on the other side is greater than anything you can imagine. There comes a moment when everything changes, a moment when the waiting ends, when the breakthrough arrives, when the doors that were once closed swing open. And that moment belongs to those who refuse to give up. To those who endured when others walked away, to those who chose faith over fear, perseverance over doubt, and action over hesitation. Because the promise was never for the ones who started, it was always for the ones who finished. And now, after the battles, after the trials, after the nights of questioning and wondering if you would ever make it, now is the time to step forward. Now is the time to claim what has always been meant for you. But stepping into the promise requires courage, because even after everything you have overcome, there will still be voices telling you that you are not ready, that you do not deserve it, that the struggles of the past define you, but they do not. Your struggles were not meant to break you. They were meant to build you, to prepare you, to make sure that when this moment came, you would be strong enough to handle it. And now you are. So take a step. Do not hesitate. Do not second guess what is already yours. You have walked through the fire, and you have come out refined. You have faced the storms, and you are still standing. You have fought battles that no one saw, and yet you are here. And this is your moment. But this is not just about you, because when you step into your calling, when you rise to the level you were always meant to reach, others will see it. Others will be inspired. Others will begin to believe that if you could make it through, so can they. Because the strongest warriors are not the ones who had it easy. They are the ones who were tested and refused to break. The ones who faced opposition and kept moving forward. The ones who lost everything but still chose to believe. And that is you. You are no longer the person who started this journey. You are stronger. You are wiser. You are ready. So do not hesitate. Do not doubt. Do not let fear keep you from stepping into the life that was meant for you, because the ones who take that final step, the ones who walk into the promise with faith, will be the ones who rise above it all.